Welcome to day 9 of Masters of the Genius Universe. Yay! Today, Santari and I want to work with you on Beyond Being, living as the Genius Universe. And that includes walking as it, talking as it, writing as it, speaking as it, geniusing things up as it, sourcing potentiality, etc. But the key to Beyond Being is not just how we're being or who we're being, but how we can move ourselves beyond individuality as a being into really, no kidding, living as the genius universe walking around on planet Earth. And how have we done that? And how do we see that that can be done? And how do we hold all that? So we thought we might start by looking at being and defining it and looking at the shifts that have gone on with it in the past, 20 years for sure, and see how that's leading us today to living as the genius universe. Yes. So before we dive into that, the definition sense, are anything for you want to share about this topic?
Where to start? Well, we're talking about shifts of being, so I guess that's the appropriate place to start our inquiry. What do we mean by being anyway? If you just give some thought to it, you will probably come up with a few sentences that sort of like describe you, the being that you know yourself to be personality-wise. Maybe you talk about some qualities, etc. But that wouldn't really go anywhere near what we're talking about. So being really, you have to have some sort of criteria and some sort of guidelines which give you a feeling for the area of being and universe and everything in between. So I would guess that if we just talk for a moment about what do we think about ourselves, what is the most clear, important things that we might say about ourselves as individuals? Well, I would say that I know myself to be somebody who cares about this world and other people, who has great ideas about what the universe is composed of, that I consider myself to be someone who is not the same as who I was born 60 odd years back, and that there's been some growth and development in those during that intervening period of time. So being then is something which perhaps changes, and it's not just about memories, and it's not just about how you feel in any moment. It's about something that has an everlasting quality, that somehow you feel that you draw upon it, and that there's a source of inspiration and guidance, and the more that you talk about that, then you get a greater sense of you're feeling more expansive, that somehow the words come more easy to you, that somehow there is something to be said about this topic, rather than fumbling for sentences that might not adequately describe anything at all. So being is a sense of being involved with life in everything that you can think about, that everything that you might consider to be a life. Is the universe a living thing? Yes, I'd say it is a living thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like when you reach out to say, let me feel what the universe is composed of. When you speak about it in those terms, then you actually do, and you put your hands out, then you actually get a feeling in your hands, a sense in your body that there's a presence that somehow is being presented to you, and that you therefore have to ask questions. What is it that I'm sensing? How am I able to sense something that's distinct from myself? By what means do I say that I'm different from this presence that I'm experiencing? So that for me is where you really start the inquiry. You ask questions, and the quality of your questioning and the quality of the way that you use your senses to arrive at some sort of understanding is, I think, key to talking about being in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, yeah. I'll describe it slightly differently. I think that our being, as in that which we are, got created somewhere, got plucked out of cosmic ooze and breathed into existence by some grand, amazing force or being or God or whatever you want to call it. And that beingness that we were created as floated and traveled and journeyed and adventured through existence, time, space, form, and all other forms, and grew and grew and grew. And I think most people today who are into any of this kind of energy, consciousness stuff would say that our being is often much more awesome than perhaps most people are living their lives as. That their greater being has more knowledge, more wisdom, more capacity. It sees vast and huge. So all the people who've had the near-death experiences, they pop out of their physical persona, have these amazing, expansive experiences of being aware of the whole universe, the purpose behind it, what their purpose is, and then they come back and begin to fulfill on that and share those insights with people. Well, the work that we've been about in the last 20 years has been about how, first we were about how do we live that expansive, vast, greater being here now. And so you and I and others along with us, in fact most of the people, if not all of them, who are watching this video series in April 2015 are those people who went on that journey with us. And we have integrated our greater beingness. And then I think we began to step beyond being. Because for me, I know, this is just for me personally, I won't say this is true for everybody who's gone into their greater being, but certainly true for me. I found there was greater joy, greater grace, greater wisdom, greater power the moment I let go of anything that looked like me or defined me or shaped me or identified me. Because, yes, I am unique, so me as Genius Universe would occur differently than you as Genius Universe. But at the same point in time, the moment I dissolved my need for identity at any level of being, and I was willing to simply become that which the Genius Universe required me to be, that's where the fun is. That's where the grace and power and creativity and excitement is, right there. I think I wrote a quote at one point, you have to be willing to surrender, to gasp in the awe of what you're waiting to become. In other words, your being is like shaped and formed and has its unique essence and its vast experiences, and it travels and adventure through time to become more and more and more of itself. But for me, there was just a moment where I went, poof, okay, what? What's possible if I step beyond being, beyond my own individual being at all the greatest levels of it? And it's there that I've found the most incredible life. I enjoy life more. I walk well in life. I write more geniusly. I have access to infinite intelligence. You can ask me any question, I'll give you a great answer. It doesn't mean it's going to be the answer, but it'll be a great answer. It'll be a genius answer for sure, because there's a gazillion answers to everything. So, I'll just pluck one of the great ones. That it's so easy to do that when there's no focus on being. And one of the things I want to say is that so much of the world right now is captured by a psychological view of themselves. So many people are still trying to resolve issues and clear blocks and, etc., etc., etc. And it's all psychologically based. And what if just none of that is true? What if that's a fabrication
Mm.
of conceptual orientation that puts you in a very tight box and makes it hard to get out of? So I would say first, throw away anything psychological. There's nothing wrong with you.
Yes, doctor.
You are glorious beyond compare. You may not fit the norm. Hallelujah. I hope you don't. You can be a rebel. You can be a genius. You can be extraordinary. You can be unique. You can be different. Today, that's getting more and more exciting all the time. And more people are striving to be that all the time and celebrating that and loving it when they see it.
Mm.
So if you want to do great marketing today, be more and more and more unleashed. Be wilder, be truer, be more genius. Don't follow the traditional stuff. Now, that's all part to me of walking and living and speaking and writing as the genius universe. So that's my kind of intro into this. So anything for you about
Well,
that?
I'll just pick up on a few of the things that you said. So one of them is have no identification, because as soon as you start to believe that you are such and such a person, then your life starts to shape itself around those definitions that you give yourself.
Mhm.
So it seems to be much more easy and simpler to allow yourself to be anything that you want to be. To say that you are without definition, but that you are a self-created being. And that means that if you feel that you are the whole of the universe, then you're the whole of the universe. But what goes with that is the feeling that you are the whole of the universe, that you've taken on something of the order and magnitude of allowing yourself to be completely unknown to yourself. And therefore it's an exploration, a journey, an adventure, whatever you want to call it, about finding out what this type of life can give you, about finding out things that you've never known previously before in your human type life existence. Because universe to me says unbounded, that there are things that you haven't previously come across, but that once you claim to be something so much bigger and allow yourself to be that energetically, then you'll start to work in a different way. You will start to know things that previously were unknown to you. So I think therefore you're almost like without an origin. And
Mm.
it's not necessary to have an origin or place to have come from. Really, it doesn't matter. You know, I say that with great respect for those people who feel that it does matter. But, you know, when you start to see that there's an eternal unfolding here, then what was important before suddenly shrinks in its importance, because there's something always to tempt you to look further and beyond. And maybe there is no ending, and maybe there is no beginning. You know, we're not going to go into those questions, I don't think. But on the art of being itself, you're self-created, you're self-defined.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want to be, you literally become it. And it's almost like an instantaneous becoming as well. You don't have to wait till the next lifetime to really have the experience of who you feel you need to be next, or who you would like to be next. You get the sense of it. Who do I want to be now? Well, I've said to myself in the past, I'd like to be Merlin. I like to be this modern day Merlin. So I started to write in that style of a modern day Merlin, to see myself in that way, to feel that I'm getting these insights and inspirations that come from this body of Merlin-esque, if you like,
Mm-hmm.
of great wisdom and understanding that somehow seems to cross the timelines and gives you this amazing perspective and ability to be able to talk to people as if you're in their future and you've been in their past, and you're sort of like a herald of things to come. But at the same time, giving people the scope to almost like change in front of your eyes so that they literally be a different being. Because that's what the space you're generating and creating for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's an amazing thing to witness, that you don't look at someone as if they've been the same from the first inception of themselves to the latest incarnation. No, there's a change that's dramatically, dynamically being presented to you. Your eyes look at a person; they don't see the shape and the features necessarily, but they see a quality, the essence of the being, reflected in the light that comes from the features. Perhaps in the ability to be able to see that there's movement, which tells you that there's a life force there that has a great power and strength, and it's showing itself to you. So I think that we can talk about being in different ways, but we're getting more insights all the time about what it is we're really talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm a lover of consciousness. And one of the things I found as I was wandering through the myriads of spaces and types of consciousness is that you could take any of those on. You could become the consciousness, like Santari was talking about being Merlin-esque. So the minute you set that in, then the consciousness of Merlin and magic and all that comes to you. You have that available, and then you can grow it yourself and create, as he said, a self-created being, become what you want. We are so malleable. And it's been amazing, the shifts in being that have happened over the last 20 years. Certainly I remember what it was like being a plain old ordinary individual human being stuck in all the stuff that human beings are supposed to be stuck in. you know?
It wasn't fun.
Relationships and things with parents and all that stuff. And it was wonderful, my first shift of being. I kind of found myself just letting go of it all. Just surrendering, letting it go, and letting myself be embraced and enchanted by whatever newness of me wanted to become. That was in 1996. And I will say that in 1996, shifts of being were a little bit harder to go through. They're a lot more gracious today because of all the work that many of us have done together about that. But at the time, I remember feeling quite vulnerable and fragile with the shift, uncertain. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how to find myself in that space of emptiness and newness at the time. And what I discovered, with your help, of course, Santari, over the years, is that I could make myself up to be anything I wanted to be. And as we progressed through more and more of those shifts of being, and some of those shifts of being were the genius universe is sending downloads to us. New frequencies, new templates of being, new infinite intelligence, and new limitless possibilities. And all of that comes in, and we and others trained ourselves how to integrate those downloads with a grace and an ease that really is quite astounding when I look back to 1996 and the trauma of shifting back then. So today, to do a shift for me is so simple. In fact, I just kind of reach out and go, yum, what's next? Bring me the next new. And I just filter it in through me. I let it happen energetically with no resistance. And it just floods me and fills me up and sparkles me, and then I just go walk around. I'm sturdy and strong because I've found my way to embodying it. Now, one of those ways is you have to keep your vibrational frequency high, no matter what. Even if you're feeling unwell, even if you've got no energy, you still got to keep your vibrational frequency high. That's a simple thing to do. Think of something you love. connect with the genius universe, let the limitless life force of life flow through you. Those are some of the ways to do that. And then don't have any resistance to who you are and who you're waiting to become. Revel in the thrill of the next becoming. Be fearless in the face of the possibilities of you. A lot of people would have said to me some years ago, oh my God, if I change, how am I going to stay in my relationship with my partner? And, what I discovered as they changed, their relationships got better in almost every case. Because they became more and more of who they were really meant to be. They were more unlimited. They were freer. They were more passionate and loved their lives more and therefore became better partners. In very rare instances, I don't even think I can think of one where they actually left. I think in every case has worked out better. So that's for me, shifts of being. How about for you, Centauri, shifts of being?
Well, there's a couple of things here which I've noted. One of them was about the sense of loss. That would have been way back then where you were like trying to hold on to who you think you are because something seems to be going or maybe has gone already, and you're trying to establish a new sense of identity. Well, I think what we're looking at really was something was missing from the energy field, and changes in the energy field allow you to be further detached from the situation where you used to find yourself in. So I think when somebody loses their job or loses their partner, there's changes in their energy field taking place for sure. So they have to re-establish, if you like, a sense of a new footing. How do I cope with the loss of the job? Well, you decide what you want to do next. Have a look at what is your love for life? Where is it leading you?
Mm.
If your partner dies, well, there might be a brief moment of a brief time of the sense of loss, the bereavement, etc. But you start to realize that you're being with a person in physical form doesn't mean to say that somehow you've got to be together, interlocked together. Mm-hmm. No, you're energetically together, weaving something. And you're quite easily able to detach, should you need to, and find another partner to be with, whether in marriage or not. And again, is that sense of being together, not having to bond together, but a sense of being together, which is delightfully embracing and still allowing you the ability to feel that you're liberated, to feel that you can do anything that you want, to feel that, life is almost like open up to you, and both of you together can be in that place of exploration, mm-hmm. without having to find, the sense of belonging.
Yeah. If for example, I left the planet, I would expect that you and all my friends would have a great resounding cheer because the force that I am would be unleashed across the universe.
Oh, we would have a wake.
And I know that and all my friends know that until I came back again, which I plan to do, that I would expect they'd know I would be there with them to assist, to empower, to, bring the forces of goodness and greatness towards them, sort of thing. So, although I have decided recently that I'm coming right back if I leave the planet, because what's happening here on this planet is extraordinary. This is a time like no other, really, really big time. Not just in the shifts of being, but the whole of the human race, the whole of the earth, the whole of the universe is shifting into a brand new state of being, a brand new place of unlimited possibility and genius creation like we've never seen before. Never seen before. Not in any of the civilizations that existed before on planet Earth, possibly anywhere. Yes, I know there's a lot of people could be skeptical about that, but I am not. I am absolutely certain about that. I have touched that place in the genius universe that is sending us that which we are about to become for our next level of being and existence and creation. And I know it is a true and real thing, and that it will not take centuries to get there, even decades to get there. We could get there today if we could all just step into the living as the genius universe wants us to be. If we could surrender the concept of identity and anything that tries to shape and define and box us. We are not boxable. We are limitless creational super beings. Every single person on this planet is that. Every single animal and creature that exists is that. It has the capacity for infinite intelligence, for extraordinary energetics, for expansive awareness, for understanding and creation and innovation like we've never seen before. And when you can tap that force and you can live as the flow of the genius universe, all things are possible in record time.
Yes, I think there's a realization that you're not just one individual energetic ball of light or whatever, but that in fact you do encompass everything. You are the one who is sending all this information, these insights, these realizations. You're all of it, because that's the fabric of the consciousness and the intelligence and the concept of everything is possible and doable and attainable and achievable right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we haven't yet done an exercise to wander everybody into it.
Oh, I think the talking's been good.
Oh, it's been amazing. Awesome. I love it. But just for everybody watching this, just take a deep breath. And let yourself expand. Realize that you have no edges. There are no boundaries to you. There are no boxes to define you, no set limits as to who you are. You can be anything you want to be right now. And feel the freedom of that, the flow of that, the excitement and exhilaration of that, the awe and wonder of that you are a limitless creation. Wow, what a remake of human being. And that all things that are known can be known by you. All creations that are waiting to be created can be created by you. All genius that wants to flow through can be flowed through by you. And once you realize that, you step into living as the genius universe. You are the universe from one end to the other. In all its aspects and dimensionality, in all of it, you are the power, the grace, the beauty, the joy, the seeing, the understanding, the wonder of it all. And you breathe that through every cell of you. And you call it fully into your being, into your presence. It's all about presence. It's not about going up and out somewhere to leave the physical and find it somewhere way out there. It is about living it here, walking around, talking, streaming it, writing it, painting it, whatever you're singing it, dancing it, making music, taking pictures, whatever your genius is, caring for animals, caring for people. Oh my God, there's just so much possibility. And you can just imbue it into you. There is nothing you have to go learn or work hard to discipline for. You just take that genius into yourself. So, for example, if I wanted to become a genius cook, and I am not a cook, I only have about 5 dishes I can cook. As Santari well knows.
Miracle coming up.
If I wanted to be a genius cook, I simply have to go download to me that which would make me a genius cook in my own way, as the genius universe unfolding a miracle with food. And how will that show up? I don't know. It doesn't have to show up like cooking recipes or cooking classes, or it maybe I don't even have to be in the kitchen to do it.
It's the quality that you imbue the food and the cooking experience, in my words,
Exactly.
in my opinion.
Exactly. So, if I want to imbue the genius of being a genius foodie, hey, it could show up in a variety of ways. I don't have to limit myself as to what that's going to look like.
I think that what we've said about the individual, us, also applies to about what you think about the world experience. I think if you look at it as limitless creation, then everything that is going to happen in your experience of this reality in this way, with people all around you and with the stars and the sun and everything about this world, it is limitless creation. It is not a defined sets of experiences. You can be with people new and fresh and exciting and inspirational, and you can move the fabric of the world reality. Again, it's about how you be with that, who you see yourself to be, the grand designer and the creator of genius, the innovator of potential, the bringer of majestic symphony of greatness into the world's peoples. Well, you're that being who is doing this, and you don't need to have any understanding of how to do and what to do. It is simply really at your fingertips, literally in the cells, and the energy with which you conceive things to be made. Your thoughts interact with the consciousness of the world, and with the people of the world, and with the animals, and somehow everything together is blended with the expression of what you bring to the game, to this life.
And I think to probably wrap some of this up, we need to talk about the relationship to source, creator, godness, that kind of thing. Yes, you are the genius universe. We all have that within us, that source, God, creator within us. Everyone does. And it exists everywhere. It's in every cell of consciousness. It's in every dib of the air we breathe. It's in every cell of our bodies. It is who we are. But I think if you have a relationship like that beingness or force knows, and you don't, you're just a tiny little peon, then I don't think we're doing great service for that relationship. So what you do is you become that in your way, and you take on a relationship with that, which is both awe-inspiring and humbling and incredible, and you know that you are it, as well as you still look and are awed by the wonder and magnificence and majesty of it. So it's a paradox. So you live as the genius universe. You breathe the universe into existence as God, source, creator, however you want to language that, as the genius universe. You are breathing the dreamer's dream into existence. And you still at the same time hold that wow feeling, which is an essential part of the whole thing.
Yeah, I think you've got to have the wow feeling.
Yeah.
Genius innovator got the sweatshirt.
Santari got a new t-shirt. A new cosmic tee.
It comes from the Imaginary Foundation in the States.
Yes.
And they have a great philosophy of life there too.
They do, and great t-shirts. Okay, how's that? I think we've covered beyond being, living as the genius universe.
For the moment.
Brilliant. So today, for all of you, have an amazing time walking, cooking, writing, speaking, living as the genius universe in limitless creation.
And so it is. Until the next time.
Have
Goodbye.
fun, everybody.
Goodbye for now.